And today we have on the show Blanka Papp. Did I pronounce your name correctly, Blanka?
Yes, that was almost perfect.
Oh, thank you very much. So it's super nice to meet you. It can sometimes be a little difficult pronouncing names of people from the continent. I've made some very embarrassing mistakes before. So it's nice to meet you. So
Nice
um,
to meet you too.
thank you. So perhaps you could just introduce a little bit about yourself.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, I am Blanka, and currently I'm a web designer, but I used to be a fashion designer, and I lived in Denmark for 7 years. But there was like a point in my life in 2021 when I felt like that something needs to change, and there is something bigger purpose for me, and I really wanted to follow this gut feeling. And yeah, that pretty much changed my whole life, and I started traveling the world solo. And yeah, at the beginning I was like planning 3 months of journey, but it turned out like 1.5 years. And that's how I found web design, basically through my journeys, like realizing the people I do want to work with and the lifestyle I do want to live. And basically, yeah, this is where I am right now. I just started my business in January, and I am loving it. And I really do want people to like also follow this kind of like courage to like follow their heart and like not to be afraid of change and like the unknown. And I learned so much about myself through this whole journey. And yes, this is I feel like my purpose is also like not just like designing and like using my creativity, but like also to show people that they can actually live a life fulfilled.
Yeah, thank you. So you started off as a fashion designer. You come from a fashion design background, is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
And then you went traveling for like 1.5 years. And we're near a military base here, and I hear the aircraft coming, so we might have to pause every now and again if it gets very loud. Yeah, and then you went traveling for 1.5 years, and while you were traveling, you kind of found that you were more passionate about web design than fashion design. Is that correct?
Well, like at the beginning, I mean, like still very inspired by fashion design, and I still love the process. But what I have realized through the journey that like the lifestyle what I want to live is doesn't really match with like staying at one place and just building my career and just focusing on that. But I truly realized that this part of me who like really desiring the freedom to travel and like meet with new people and new cultures and like new experiences, I do need to change my career for that. And yes, like fashion design is quite lonely process in a way, like you don't really have that much interactions with people. And I always felt like my purpose is something more like to help people to be a part of their journey in some way. And now it's like so amazing to see people who like coaches and like meeting with so many new talents and like being a part of their journey through web design and like helping them to create something that they cannot necessarily, but they do have like the ideas and the feeling for it, like what they want, and just kind of being a creative channel through that journey.
Yeah. So you're working with conscious creators
Yeah.
generally, is that correct? Yes. So yes. So this is what I'm moving into. So more coming soon, guys. So this is on my YouTube channel. I haven't really announced this officially yet, but I'm making a big kind of transition from doing my spiritual work, my channeling work, which I'm still doing. I just booked another channeling client this morning, so I'm not giving it up. But I'm focusing more full time on I set up a marketing agency doing web design, social media, and branding. And I got a little exciting course called, and I dropped the name here. It's the Build Your Conscious Brand Challenge. So watch out, coming soon, guys. And yeah, and so my passion, it's something I've always been passionate about, and I'm not sure why I haven't really identified it sooner. I did a bit when I was traveling in Peru, like when I got short of cash in Peru, I built some websites to survive in Peru, and I really enjoyed doing them. But it's really over this winter I've been really racking my brains, diving deep, and realized that, I mean, the tagline is kind of high frequency marketing for conscious creators. So is this kind of what you resonate with? You want to help people that are following their passion, their purpose, this kind of thing?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and you're doing this already, yes? Is this correct? You started in January, you've already got clients, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you get the clients? Was it easy to get the clients? Did you
actually it was pretty easy, but I did have to go through a very hard lesson before that. So actually, like on my last journey, when I was in Bali, I kind of took all the risk to just like travel to Bali and send all the last money I have. And I wanted to like collaborate with a woman who I didn't know. And like, I know it was like a bit of a crazy decision, but I really felt that I need to go there. And I'm very happy that I did, because I learned so much. And yeah, basically like I started designing her website, but like I didn't get like any money from it. So yes, like that was like the part of my life when I really decided that I need to set my boundaries, and I really need to decide like what do I want and how do I want to do it. And yeah, like it was like very scary to be there and step out of it, and yeah, like being in the other part of the world. But I knew like if I make this step, like the rising part is going to come. And like when I started it, actually like on the first week, I already got like 2 clients, and in the first 2 weeks I got like 4 clients. I just basically posted in a group, and yeah, people started to reach out to me. So
you posted in a Facebook group?
yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
that easy when you're in flow?
No, probably actually not. I think I really manifested it because I was so sure about myself that like that it has to work out, and I just had no other option. And like I was okay when I said like, okay, I'm gonna do this professionally, and I'm gonna go through every process. And I did like a course before to prepare myself, and like to go through all the branding part and like the strategy and the business plan. And like after I was just so sure about that it's going to work out, because I was like, it has to. So yes, it seems in the outside that it went easy, but I really had like one of the darkest period before. And I think that was the main help.
Yeah, definitely. It usually happens like that. Because if we're trying to manifest something, we have to clear out all our negative beliefs that are blocking that from manifesting. So part of the manifestation process, it is actually going through the phase of clearing out the negative beliefs, so you can get to the place. As soon as you start visualizing something or whatever, you might go through years of going through the complete opposite, going through a nightmare, but it's a process of clearing out all the old beliefs, and so it is actually happening. What was the course you did, if you don't mind me asking? I'm liking to like really get into more of like the actual technical side of the business, like literally, how to build the websites, what the course is, rather than just theory and motivate. In the past, I've been kind of like a theory and motivation channel, and I'm much more shifting into like now the hands-on stuff, how to build a website, how to buy a domain, how to get your hosting, and how to build a funnel, how to do sales calls, and and things like this, the meat of actually running an online conscious business. So I can't remember what I actually asked you now. Can you remember what I asked?
Yeah, like that. What was the course that I was doing it?
Ah,
Or like,
yes, yeah.
yeah. So it was like it's called the Becca Luna, CEO of Show It. So like before that, I was like not a professional web designer. It was kind of something that I just did in exchange when I was like traveling. And yeah, like when I found this course and this girl, I like that was really the aha moment for me, that this is it and that I do want it. And I felt like such a huge resonance with this girl because she had like very similar lifestyle. Like she was like kind of like a hippie traveling the world, and you know, like what she built and like how authentically is like talking, I really could resonate with her. So yeah, that was the course that I was doing.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great that you did a course with another conscious creator, you know, as opposed to going through some corporation like Udemy or something. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. Really cool. So what were the biggest challenges? So you've talked about one of them already. Um, what were some of the challenges? Other challenges you found? You know, I mean, presumably, you know, were you traveling alone? You know, that's quite a daunting challenge, especially for a lady.
Yes. Well, definitely the most challenging part was when I felt lost, and like I think when like I lose my sense of purpose of like who I am and what do I need to do, is like, yeah, one of the that can like really drag me down. And that was, I think, like one of the biggest challenge, like last year when, yeah, when I was in Bali and I stepped out of the situation and I was there without money. But um I think that the acknowledgement or like the awareness of like knowing that I do need to experience this and I have to learn something lesson from this is what had me like going through this and like having the hope that, you know, like not breaking apart. But yeah, I think like every breakthroughs I had in my life, that was like something common, like always knowing that this is a lesson that I do need to learn, and even if I don't see the lesson yet, then I that it's something that is going to serve me for some reason.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the death and rebirth cycles that I believe the scarab beetle of ancient Egypt, an ancient Egyptian hieroglyph, is the scarab beetle, because the scarab beetle, he actually he plants his eggs in a dung bowl and then rolls the dung bowl along, and so the rolling dung bowl symbolizes the cycles of time, the cyclical nature of reality, how we all go through cycles in our life, and the eggs, and then eventually the eggs birth out of the dung bowl. So it's like death and renewal. You know, the dung is the death and the eggs are the renewal. And this is really nature of reality. Is how reality. We can't ever start something new. We can't have a birth without going through a death. We can't be born. We
Exactly.
can't be reborn before we die. And I think this is a process a lot of spiritual seekers and star seeds are going through at the minute. We're feeling very. The planes are here again. I think we're all right. We're feeling that, like, a lot of people are feeling very like lost, like they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, hopeless. But this is a good phase, because this is what comes before, like they say, it's darkest before dawn. And it's literally kind of like a death. It's like, because we hold on to so many beliefs, you know, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, you know, I have to get a job in the bank to keep my mum and dad happy, because that's what my mum happy, and if I don't keep them happy, they'll hate me, and there'll be no love ever felt in the universe ever again. It would end up unconditional love forever. All this kind of subconscious programming we've got through, and as we work through those beliefs, and as we break out of our old career, it feels like a kind of death. It can go through depression,
Yeah.
anxiety, all sorts of emotions, and but that's the horrible part, and that has to happen, unfortunately. It seems for a lot of us, especially for those of us that like are heavily conditioned in like old paradigms, old ways, you know, like judging yourself negatively. You shouldn't love yourself. You know, I'm just a useless mutation on a random planet, and I don't deserve anything except for, you know, only other people are rich. You know, what happiness is for other people. You know, all the societal conditioning we pick up. You know, I'm like 47 now, so I got more of that. Hopefully, some of you folks watching this are younger, and you'll find the process a lot easier of letting go of your conditioning about how you're supposed to act in society, what your potential is. Like, our potential is very limited by our beliefs normally, and your potential is infinite. You can create anything you want to create in your reality. That is the reality, and like, shifting from the old belief that I'm not worthy and I can't do this, and why would anyone want to employ me, and like, what happens if my boss shouts at me? I'll go through pain and I'll go through suffering, so I'll just avoid that reality completely and take up heroin.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, this kind of thought stream is rife in the UK. Oh, you are in the UK, yeah, you know. And in lots of Western society, in lots of society generally, and it's a whole reprogram, it's a whole restructuring to understanding that we are a divine soul who deserves to create our highest excitement, because our highest excitement is what is of service to all of creation. Our highest excitement is the highest service to the entire universe, the highest service to the planet, the highest service to our family, the highest service to everyone, even if our parents tells us that it's not, and we should shut up and we should go back to the job in the bank, and like,
yeah,
it's even best for them when they're telling you that. I'm pointing over there because I'm living with my mum at the minute. And so yeah, and it can really feel like a death, and this is it. It's death and rebirth. It's like and what Blanka just mentioned. She had to go through this kind of dark night of the soul before she was able to get clear on what her purpose and what her passion was. I feel this is a thing a lot of us are going through, or a lot of you. I feel like I'm coming out and getting very clear now on what my passion and what my purpose is. Watch this space, Build Your Conscious Brand Challenge, coming up there. It should be linked in here actually by the time we go live. So yeah, so I was going to ask another question, but it's gone. So what? Yeah, what's your advice on helping people get clear? Yeah, so we're talking about this, about going through this. You have to be lost to be found. This is something I used to tell my clients. You have to be lost before you can find yourself. You have to be lost before you can find yourself. You talk about finding yourself. Finding yourself is your life purpose and your passion. Because it kind of, like they say, like the old saying, you cannot fill a cup that is already full. You know,
exactly.
Full around here, because they already think they know how to live their life. They already think that you know, depression and anxiety is the ultimate reality, and and that's just the way life is.
Yes.
And you just get on with it until you die, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So when we go through these phases, and that gets very painful as you go through the spiritual transformation process, that those thoughts get more and more painful, because it's your higher self, like, kind of, as you go through the transition into alignment with the higher self and higher frequencies, those thoughts and beliefs are literally like the demons of hell. so basically that's what the demons of hell are, like negative self-worth thoughts. And so as you become higher frequency and more centered in unconditional love, you go through this process of letting go of the negative beliefs that can be a dark night of the soul, or the shadow coming to the surface, and it seems it has to happen to some extent before we can fully embody our excitement, our passion, our life purpose, our highest expression, and who we truly are, and who we are truly here to be in this reality. So do you have any advice for people who are maybe stuck in that place, and they maybe even feel like it's hopeless, or even like the world's going to end? Like, apparently a lot of like the younger generation these days think that life is so hopeless they won't even have children. Literally. Well, we're not having children at the minute because we believe the world's probably going to end. I mean, what is happening with these people? So perhaps if you're watching this and you're kind of stuck in, you're kind of feeling limited, you're kind of feeling stuck, or you know that you're like, there's something out there, but you just, what is it? What am I supposed to do? What's my purpose? I can't find a way out of this. What advice would you give for those people?
Well, definitely to like trying to also accept the present moment when someone is like going through this, and like having that kind of like awareness that like it like life is not against you, because as soon as you like step into the victim mode and like starting to like look at life that this is against you and not for you, you fall into this loop of like overthinking. And like I do also like have periods when I'm like overthinking a lot, but like I definitely always like I think like I almost never place myself in a victim mode that like life is against me, but always knowing that like there is a way. And obviously like this is definitely like also lying within the daily practice of like how you talk to yourself, how do you like wake up, and like what, you know, like the 5 minutes routine seriously can be completely life changing. And because like our brain is like wired for like negative thoughts in a way that like we have like so many impulses from the outside world, and like having kind of the ability to like, or not the ability, but just like to tell to yourself like, okay, you know, this is just something I can commit to like daily, like listening 5 minutes of like, you know, positive thoughts, and like how do I talk to myself. Of course it's like more work to that, but like just starting with small steps, I think like it can be like a game changer completely. And also like not being afraid of the unknown, and also like the dark soul of a night, as you also said, because I think it's actually like so much beauty in it. And like I'm so visual person, and I always think that, you know, if like people could see, if there is like two bags, and like this is what you can choose if you're like going through this, and you have the like just not to be afraid of the unknown, and you are like just stepping out as soon as you feel that you need to make a change, then I think like everyone would choose that bag actually, to like stepping out and just change when they feel that they need to. Because obviously we not always know like what um what what we need to do, or like what is going to be, because like it can be like a lot of uncertainty. But I think we always know when something is not working. Like our emotions is a guide. And when we know that something is not working, like I really think that that step to change is like so worth it. And just, you know, not being afraid of it, to like step out. And what I've also met a lot of times, that mostly in my age, that what is holding them back is mostly the money, that they think that it costs money, and they say that they don't have money for it to travel. And like I experienced like so many people told that like, you know, I'm a rich person, and like that I could travel for so long. But it's so many ways today to like to, if you want to travel, you can travel for free basically. I mean, of course you need a little place, or like a little money to like survive, but it's so many places where you can like get food, accommodation, like even ways where like your travel is paid. So I think like whatever it is in the world, like if you know that you have to change, you're gonna find ways. And yes, like life is going to show you the ways always.
Yeah, definitely. I went to Peru with just 700 British pounds in my bank account and lasted 3.5 years. So it's definitely easier in like developing world countries, you know, where the economy is much cheaper. Because
Yes.
so yeah, so one of my challenges has been money. Like there's a lot of stress in my family around money growing up. although we're relatively wealthy, certainly very very wealthy on a global scale. There was all the money kind of went into the house and the mortgage, and that's a lot of stress and arguments over money. And so I grew up with a lot of negative connotations around money, which I've now understood were blocking the abundance flow, because I subconsciously hated money.
Yeah.
Bit of an issue, like when you're subconsciously hating money and you're trying to manifest money and it's not working. And I think this is common. I think this is very common. I think if you're watching this, you're someone who's practiced with the law of attraction and you've done the visualization, and it's not working. I give you 2 tips. One, it's probably because you've got subconscious negative beliefs around money, and when you're trying to have positive affirmations, it's actually triggering negative fears, whether you're negative thoughts which are repelling it, and or you're hoping that the money is just going to be delivered out the sky by angels in a bar of gold. And in my experience, tends to take that from us, because our higher self and our soul wants us to commit to our life purpose and our calling. So if we're trying to say, higher self, I want $1 million so I can live on a desert island, smoke pot and play poker for the rest of my life. Your higher self is like, all right, yeah, good luck. but
Exactly.
higher self, can you help me out with some money, because I'm following my passion, I really want to help people, this is my highest excitement, I love it, and I need some cash because I haven't launched the business yet. That's the kind of thing when miracles can happen. And when manifestation definitely happens is when you're in service to someone else and you don't care about the outcome whatsoever, and you're just trying to help someone and you need a miracle. You wouldn't believe what miracles can happen.
Yes. I also always say that money should never be the first thing. Whatever you start, whatever is your job. And I think seriously, I think over 70% of people, they think that money should be the first thing, and then they can achieve their goals, or travel, or do or follow their highest excitement, while first is always about following your highest excitement, and then money is going to come if you want it in a healthy way. I really think that. And it should be always kind of what is my passion, what can I give to other people through my passion.
Yes, so me personally, I had because it was such a deep-rooted subconscious belief. I knew that I needed to be doing this, but I still had, and I was never really greedy. Maybe a little with food and stuff, but not around money. So, no, never really greedy around money. But I had fear of. I'm not sure what. I kind of lost my thread, but it was there was some deep-rooted subconscious fear about interacting with money. So on the surface, I knew that I needed to follow my excitement first, and the money would come second. But I had a subconscious fear about money that I was always trying to grasp at it. Do you know what I mean? I just need to get £3,000 in the bank so I can finally relax for a month and pay the bills and get on with my excitement. That was my mentality. It never worked. It didn't work for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But do you have some advice for me on why that method doesn't work?
Well, I think actually I was just listening a podcast last time about this, about money and a relationship with the money. And I think also money is such an energy, and as soon as we trying to grasp on it, that it's no, this is ours. And if the energy of fear behind it, or that, oh, I do need it, it's not gonna flow. And I know that this is can sound so hocus pocus to so many people because it's not tangible, but I really do believe, and I also experience that every time, when I'm okay, I'm not I'm not angry, not angry, but I don't want to hold on it, or if I'm not stressed about it, then it's the ways it's coming, it's just coming.
Yeah. so it's easy to say that, but like when you're like you say you've got no money, and
Yeah.
and, and you're like, you don't know where your next bill's coming from,
Yes.
and like,
Yes.
you know, you need to be following your passion, and you know you can't go back to the other job, but it's kind of terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
You
Yes.
don't, you literally don't know if you're going to have a house, and you know, for some people they do end up getting in such a situation that they end up losing the house. And I did kind of, but it was kind of voluntary for me, you know. I surrendered to God, and like said, God, please look after me. I'm no longer working in my gardening job, and like I couldn't pay my accommodation, and miracle, you know, my friend put me up on the sofa. You know, a miracle happened, you know, for my beautiful friend. Um, and then I moved to Peru, and one step after that, and it supported me, and life has always supported me, and it always does.
Yeah.
But it's terrifying. It can be terrifying. Do you know what I mean? Literally, when you get to the point
Completely.
where you've got no money, you don't know where the next meal's coming from, you don't know where you're
Yeah.
going to be living. So what
Yeah.
would you give advice to anyone that's in that situation?
Well, I mean, I did experience it as well, and I also had like panic attacks, like at one day, literally, just when I was swimming, and I used to be. I mean, I'm still a very good swimmer, but yeah, like I just got a panic attack when I was like swimming. So I yeah, like I also experienced like the heaviness when you don't have money, and like you cannot like yeah, you cannot think from the same mindset when you are in these situations, because it's kind of the root chakra also, like, you know, like our survival instincts turn on. And yes, but my advice is like, definitely what I did, like I was telling myself every day that I am safe, and I was just looking in the mirror deep into my eyes, and I I told myself that I am safe. I am safe, and I know that this is going to serve me. And you know, like I think the biggest thing that we experience when we don't have money, that we are not safe, because basically we are like fighting with our survivals. And yes, like also it's definitely very very hard. So it's when you like struggling with survival, you it's yeah, most likely you cannot like follow your passion, but you have to get through that dark period first. And yes, my advice is just like definitely trying to, you know, like um stay stay alive in a way that
Number one.
yes.
It can be like that though. When I was going through a very dark phase, you know, I was, you know, you have to push through it when you're waking up. Like I got long COVID in the middle of my dark night, and like, you know, I just felt like shit every day, and like
Yes.
what
Yes.
you know, yeah, I mean, it's hard. You just have to like trust that you're going to get through it, and keep pushing and pushing,
Yes.
and trust that it's. And of course, I had this knowledge that I was going through a soul transformation. It can really help if you understand the spiritual process.
Exactly.
So when you're going through it, in the back of it, it's like, okay, I know I'm going through a nightmare, and I know this is helping me. And also, I know if I stay here and I don't do anything stupid, I can help. I'm going to be able to help so many people when I get through this. And like when it's
Exactly. Yes,
connect to the
exactly.
collective and connect to a higher purpose, and the upliftment and the unconditional love that comes from serving people, you know, that's
Yes,
the thread out of the dark night as well.
exactly. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, like so many times do have friends who like, you know, not as spiritual in a way, like that they think that spirituality is something like a very woohoo thing. And like I always say that, I mean, I don't mind what it is, or like what is in the word, but like if in these situations this is what basically saves me, then I'm going for it. Like for believing that, you know, that the soul is something that knows what it has to go through. And yes, like it's definitely been also a very big part for my journey to know, like, okay, as soon as I'm going through this, like I'm going to help so many people and inspire so many people. And like that's what we are here for. I mean, we are learning from each other, and like we are experiencing life. And yeah, also I think like one of the thing that like zooming out and kind of not taking it too seriously, even if it's like very stupid to say in those situations, because you cannot like not taking it seriously, but kind of like zooming out at like, okay, you know, like just looking at it as a experiment or something, that okay, what, or like a movie. Many times like I was zooming out and I was kind of like, oh, if I would watch myself as a character in a movie, actually this would be quite funny and I would be like rooting for myself.
Yeah, it can definitely help if you can kind of zoom out into meta or third person, or yeah,
Yes.
a bit of space between yourself and the situation. So, okay, so let's change gears a bit. So thank you for the emotional healing advice. I think that's great information. So now some practical advice for people starting up on their life purpose, their mission, their calling, their highest excitement, their passion. So let's pick a random example of someone that might be watching this who wants to set up, for example, a Reiki healing business. So say someone came to you and they said, Blanka, can you give me some advice? I want to set up a Reiki healing business. I just passed my Reiki 2. I'm now qualified to heal people, and I feel excited. It feels passion. I think it could be my purpose, and so I want to set up a business, and I want to start getting some clients, and I need some money quick. Can you give me some advice, like on how this person, might set up literally, like, like the business side of it? Like, do they need a website, a social media account, Facebook ads, a funnel?
Yeah.
Like, what advice would you give to them?
Well, I would definitely say that first, like, share your personal story, like, you know, not necessarily like crazy long, but I think like firstly to connect with people and engage with them and like sharing your, you know, like vulnerability so that people can connect with
So, like,
you.
on Facebook or YouTube or something like this?
I do love Facebook. Like I know, like, I mean, even in the course, they actually suggested Instagram and TikTok. I do started as well my Instagram because I think in the long term it's very good if you don't have to seek out for clients, but clients find you. So I think it's important to like show who you are and like your values. But to start with, because like Facebook groups can already have like big audiences in a group, and like you can find groups where people like all of them could be your potential client. Like, and in Instagram it's not like that. It takes time to build it up and like it takes time to get followed. So I love Facebook groups because I think like it's so many possibilities. It's to connect with people and to share your story and with an image or with a little video. And if you like sharing a little video, you are already standing out from the posts. So I think definitely, mostly if someone is like a, you know, like a Reiki healer or something that is in like the conscious world in a way, then yeah, like authenticity, I think it's definitely the first thing, and not like, yes, that okay, I need money right now and salesy things doesn't really work in this area. So yes, I would definitely say like Facebook groups to start, what worked for me the best.
Yeah, it's certainly an easy entry point. Like you say, you just posted your advertising for the website in a Facebook group, didn't you? And you got like 4 clients.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, that I got started with my how I got started with my YouTube channel 9 years ago, doing my channeling and my ET contact stuff on the YouTube channel. Um, I put up a video and just posted that on a few Facebook groups, and yeah, it was a lot easier back then on YouTube. It's getting pretty tough to you got to really put out quality content to crush it on YouTube these days, and you have on really any platform. The days of just putting up a video and talking and getting 3,000 views are over. You got to create. You got to know how to hook someone at the start. This is from my experience. You got to hook someone in those first few seconds so they don't click off by doing something crazy, and then you got to keep them watching. You got to keep them entertained. And one of the techniques a lot of people are teaching is storytelling. Is this something, I think you kind of touched on this a little bit already, but a lot of people are talking about the importance of storytelling to keep people engaged in social media like YouTube videos and I guess Facebook and TikTok. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, definitely storytelling. I think it's very important. But I mean, I do like to storytell, and like I do like to share my experiences. But I think, you know, like you also always have to see like what kind of person you are and what you are aligned with. So if someone is like hating to storytell or like absolutely hates Instagram and like really against it and like has a very bad feeling about it, I don't think that they should push it. Like I think we should always like feel what works for us, and like in every area in our life, like just because something worked for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. And like I know that like I really love to connect with people also in Facebook groups, and like it's been always working for me. And kind of when I moved to Denmark, like that was my way of like asking for help and connecting with others. But if someone is like feeling that Instagram is working better for them, or TikTok, or that's their word, or like if they hate all social media platforms, then they can, you know, like find other ways as well. Always there is a way to connect.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that you mentioned TikTok because TikTok is definitely a great option. It's probably the best option from my perspective for newcomers because it's the easiest one to grow on right now. TikTok's still in growth and it's very easy to blow up on. You can literally become a huge influencer within like 3 months, and I kind of did
Yeah.
myself. I've heard people say so. I kind of did myself. I studied Mr. Beast for many years on YouTube to blow up my YouTube channel. I got like a super niche channeling YouTube channel. I never really managed to. Well, my it's still like only about 5,000 followers on YouTube. But then last Christmas, not this Christmas, Christmas before, when I was still in Peru, I was living in a place called Ollantay Tambo that I believe was built by extraterrestrials or Atlanteans. It's one of these mega advanced structures that looks like it's built with lasers. And I decided to take a break from YouTube, and I thought I'll have a play with making videos on TikTok, just see what happens. And so I used my like Mr. Beast strategy of, hooking people, doing something crazy at the minute, and then like just keeping them excited and keeping them viewing, and like and like I put up this video, the one video that really took off. I was walking past these ruins and like these amazing huge stones that look like they're covered with lasers. It's really mind blowing stuff in Ollantay Tambo in Peru. And I said, so if you don't believe in extraterrestrials from Atlantis, perhaps you can tell me how this is made. And I pointed at these ruins. And of course, it blew up because it was so controversial. There were so many people like commenting that were really into like the Graham Hancock stuff, who'd recently been on with Netflix with his big series about the pyramids and that, how they're ancient aliens. And like, so there's a lot of this, and to all the people that are into that saying like, yeah, I believe you, it's definitely aliens, definitely antis, and all the other people are getting like really triggered and like say, you idiot, you racist, you're saying it's not the truth. And so it's creating this big argument, and there's like, it went over 1 million views, and like
Wow.
it was mostly because it was controversial posts are really good on TikTok because they get the argument. If you can create an argument in the comments section, and the algorithm like says, well, this is getting loads of comments, so we'll like
Yeah.
more people see it and more people.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Actually, I haven't thought about that. Like to kind of this strategy to create an argument under my post. That is cool.
Yeah, it works extremely well. But I had to quit because I was like getting it got to overwhelming. I was literally like getting 10,000 abusive negative comments, and I was feeling the energy, and I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't argue. I started off like arguing back at them to get the view count up.
Yeah.
It was weird energy, and it was
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to count with like negative energy if you like blow up somewhere, because it's going to be.
Yeah, and that is that something you've experienced yourself, like negative flaming on social trolls and that on social media?
On social media, not as much. Like I'm not a big influencer, and like I actually just started like my business account like in January. And like now I'm growing slowly, but yes, like on my personal account I share like my travels and like my personal journeys, also some vulnerable contents, but luckily I did not get like negative comments from people, but in real life I did.
Yeah. Well, you need to start working harder, because if you're not getting trolled yet, you're not.
Yeah.
When you start getting the trolls, it's a sign you're blowing up. All the big because we actually did the same course. I met Blanka in a course with some actual conscious creators online, Aaron Downty, Victor Otto, and another guy. I can't remember his name. Do you know the other guy's name? I'd not heard of him.
Aaron or Matt? There
Matt.
is
Yeah, Matt, the business guy, who's really amazing. Great business. It's an amazing course, and so we met in there, and I can't remember what I was going to say, but things are shifting, guys. um, Yeah, it was a really amazing course. In 2024, everything is really accelerating now. It does feel like it's a really amazing time. Something has shifted.
Yes.
I've been talking about how it's the beginning of a new 12-year cycle. I'm really into this cycles thing. Cycles, the dung beetle, the scarab beetle, cycles of nature, because it's very much big in the teachings of Egypt that Atlantis existed 12,000 years ago and that life is cyclical. And 12,000 years ago, there was this huge destruction of Atlantis. But now we've gone through another 12,000 year precession of the equinoxes cycle. And now we're beginning in the age of Aquarius and starting a new upswing. And that's why we're going through this big spiritual awakening and back into the divine and away from the destruction of the past 4,000 years. And so this is the cyclical nature of reality. Yeah, and I feel like 2024 is the beginning of a new 12-year cycle. Like December the 21st, 2012 was the beginning of a 12-year cycle. The millennium was the beginning of a 12-year cycle. And I've also heard that it's the beginning of a 40-year cycle. Dawal Anchor, follow your highest excitement. Channel Bashar has actually said that we've just completed a 40-year cycle this year. 40-year, a whole cycle of humanity. And that definitely resonates, because everything seems to be shifting now, because you've gone through the same experience, didn't you? You went through kind of this death at the end of the last cycle.
Yeah. And I think like many people did actually. I know more people who went through the same, and yes, I definitely felt a complete energy shift in 2024. And I knew, I mean, I had very, very good feelings about 2024, and like I still do. And yes, I think like so many people have experienced this like dark period, and I also definitely see that it's like a shift coming, and so many people like like we are actually pushed to like find ourselves. And also like when like our parents were young, like these topics were definitely not as common to, like they didn't talk about it, and it was like not like so strong emphasis on like individualism and like finding yourself, because it was all about like supporting others, but like in another way, because they like had to save themselves like in wars and everything. And now it's definitely much more about like, okay, who you are. And like it's like we have so much information, so actually like from one point of view, like we are basically like kind of living in one of the luckiest times in sense of like information, because we actually have a lot. But on the other hand, like everything has like two sides, I think. And yes, I think when you can see the beauty in it, it's definitely going to serve you.
Thank you, Blanka. Yes, so it's been a really amazing conversation. I feel we've covered everything I wanted to cover. So it's been really helpful for myself, and I'm sure for the listeners. So, if anyone, so you build websites, yeah, that's your main business, yes. So if anyone wants a website building, and I can't believe I'm doing this, because the main focus of this podcast I'm setting up is to generate website clients for myself. And so on the first podcast, I'm funneling towards you. hopefully I'll get some good karma for this. So, so if you're interested in working with a beautiful lady as opposed to a beautiful man, what's your website address, Blanka?
Well, it's revolutionizer, like with an S, .co.
Revolutionizer.co, and you've gone for the
Yes.
trendy and fashionable .co address. I
Yes.
didn't dare go for .com. And more on that to come soon, guys. So yeah, so I'll drop the link to Blanka's website, Revolutionizer, spelt the English way.
Yes, exactly.
Revolutionizer, spelt the English way. .co, the trendy
Yes.
new web extension.
Yes.
And yeah, so check Blanka out. Do you have any social media links you'd like to share?
Yes, it's the same. It's revolutionizer.co.
Okay, great. We'll share them all in the link below. So check out the links below, guys, to Blanka's website services and
you know, there is like no competition. I mean, like, I believe that people who want to find you and going to resonate with you, they're gonna find you, and you're gonna be the perfect person.
This is the new earth economy. You know, that's the old way. Like, competition is starting to outdo your competition.
Yeah.
I believe that's the old way. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't strive to have a better product than your competition, but I think in the new earth we can create more wealth by co-creating together, as we are doing now. You know, we're both going to get website clients, maybe from this. I'm sure from this we will both manifest. Some of you beautiful guys out there that want to get started following your life purpose, your passion, and your highest excitement, check out Blanka's links, check out my links, and I'll see you all in another now. Peace, love, light, and Shivai. Woo! See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.